Hi, welcome back. Now, this is a supplemental discussion, but you might be curious about what this scanner thing actually is. And indeed, you might be curious about how classes work in Java. Now, in the next unit, we're going to start in on how to define classes and how to make objects out of them and their properties and their methods and so on and so forth. But I want to give you kind of a preview of what really is going on under the hood. Now, remember I said we have a class here. We can see this class. We can see everything about this class. This particular class is called main. Now, main is doing some things for us that we're just kind of accepting as magic. But the class main has a method called main, and it is somehow taking in an array of strings called args, and it returns nothing. And then somehow it is also public and static. But for now, just think of this as it is something that can be done by the class main. So little main, or little m main, is a method. It is a thing that big M main can do. So when the program runs, little m main runs. And this is the entry point, as I already said, of our Java program. So now you might be curious about scanner. Well, scanner is a class, just like main is a class. Now, when we typed scanner the first time, the IntelliJ program is smart enough to know it needs to find that class and give it to us somehow, or allow us to use it. So it made a statement and inserted it right up here. So we're importing something from java.util called the scanner class. So what if we're curious and we want to know what that scanner class is? We can right-click the scanner class and say go to implementation. And it will decompile the jar file, the Java archive file, and let us see the implementation of scanner. So now if we look up at the top, someplace up here at the top, we're going to see a bunch of junk here, which is Java docs, which are important, but for now, we're not going to worry about that. And we will see public final class. And the important thing here is class. This is declaring a class called scanner. And then it implements an iterator, which takes a string, and closable. Now these two things are interfaces, and we'll talk about those when we talk about interfaces. But the name of the class is scanner. And then that class has some properties, some things that belong to it, and then it has some methods. And what we're interested in here is the next method of a scanner. So we can say edit and then find. Now if we just type next, we're going to see a lot of different things. But we know the next method returns what type of thing? Well, it returns a string. So if we say string space next, we ought to get to the declaration of the next method, and indeed we did. This is a public method. That means something, but I'm not going to tell you what yet. And then the method is called next. It takes no parameters and returns a string. And we saw the usage of this method when we said string name. This is the name of the user that is being returned from the next method of the input object. And the input object is of type scanner. So this next method, which comes from scanner, is returning the string name. Now again, there's a lot of things that I'm kind of glossing over that will have to wait until we explore classes and objects in Java. But this is to kind of give you a preview and also to show you how you can look at the implementation of any class in IntelliJ to see exactly what's being done. Thanks a lot.